Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys, from whichever part of the world you are connecting today. And I really appreciate and I'm very grateful for Dynamics.com to giving me this wonderful opportunity to present here. And I am so thankful for all the organizers, committee members, and the keynote speakers and other speakers as well. Without further ado, let's quickly jump into the session. Well, myself, Jeevarajan Kumar, you can call me Jeeva. I am a business application consultant working in Clean Marine AS. It's a marine-based company that's based out of Norway. And I'm also a Microsoft Business Application MVP and MCT, as you can see here. And I'm also a community lead, leading Microsoft Business Application user group coming in Singapore in ASEANs, and also proudly an ambassador of 365 Saturday and community member of TDG as well. So today my session is going to be on powering your schedule board using Power Platform. But today I have taken only Power Apps and Power Automate, but I will just give you an idea later how this can be expanded in many ways using the other products of the Power Platform suite. So today's agenda is going to be on schedule board overview and customization currently available in the schedule board, and using Canvas app and Power Automate to add more functionality to the schedule board and to provide a better user experience as well. And we'll just see quickly about the new generation schedule board that's recently released in the Wave 1. All right. So talking about the customizations currently available for the schedule board as of today. So there are basically three approaches that can be leveraged to schedule the items in the schedule board, right? Before going into customization, I would like to give introduction on the schedule board. So there are basically three approaches that can be. Okay, pause. Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3, start. So before going into the customizations of a schedule board, so there are three approaches that can be leveraged to schedule the items. So first one is manually scheduling the schedule using the schedule board. Second one is semi-automated scheduling that can be done using the scheduling assistant. And third one is the completely automated scheduling, that where the resource scheduling optimization, a tool called RSO, will be helpful, right? So talking about manual scheduling, the schedule board assists in providing the dispatchers with the information they need from the schedule board, and also they can easily see all the currently unscheduled items as well as the availability of all the resources like people, facilities, crews, equipments as such, and the scheduled tools that can be leveraged. And talking about semi-automated scheduling, the scheduling assistant can be directly accessed from the work order or from the schedule board. So it offers great suggestions of potential resources that are suitable for that particular work order or any other entity if that matters. And talking about fully automated scheduling, it can be done with the RSO, resource scheduling optimization. So RSO lets these organizations automatically schedule and reschedule items based on the predefined goals. So there can be certain configurations under the RSO. It's a paid tool. We don't see about that in the session today, but it's a paid tool and there are certain materials available online. You can check about it. So what information the schedule board, or what information as a dispatcher, when I log in and see the schedule board every day, what would I like to see? So currently the schedule board shows you what is currently scheduled, what needs to be scheduled, who is available to take that particular work order and work on it, or what does the traffic look like when he tries to schedule it using the map filter view. So these are some common or general high-level things that can be taken out of the schedule board. So talking about the schedule board, we will see that shortly here. So let me quickly swap to my schedule board as well so that it's better for you guys to see it. Yeah, let me close this one. Yeah, so you can see, as you can see, so resource requirements provides list of active resources that can be scheduled for this work orders. And here you can see the list of unscheduled work orders that is yet to be scheduled, right? And this is the filter and map view where you can filter the resources based on your requirement. So there could be lots of resources in real-time enterprise scenario where you can filter the resources based on the territories, organization units, roles, skill sets, resource types as such. Okay. And also when you click on there is something called details pane. So when you click on certain resources or bookings, you're going to see the details about that specific thing that you're wanted to see, right? And also there are this toolbars which you can access from here. We'll see that later shortly. So with that, yeah. Before jumping into why we are extending the schedule, why we need to extend the schedule board using Power Apps, we'll see what is currently available first, what kind of customizations is available, what kind of tools are available, so that we'll know what is the limitation of the current tools that the schedule board offers. Okay. So as you can see here, so there can be it's actually quite common for any dispatcher to schedule large amount of resources, right, when they are working in multiple regions and service centers. So the first thing that we can think about is the adding new tabs. Okay, so even though you can see there are provisions to filter the resources based on the requirement of the work order, sometimes it's painful to filter each and every time when the dispatcher logs in, when there are lots of work pending, like every morning. So what he can do is he can create a new schedule tab here in the schedule board. So this will add a new tab in the schedule board so that he can have a pre-configured filters and whatever the views that he would like to see in that tab, and that tab can be saved, so that whenever the dispatcher wanted to use that, whenever the dispatcher wants to use that specific tab, like a pre-built information, he would be able to do that without needed to access the filters again and again. Okay. And the thing is, you can also share the schedule board, right? So when you have multiple tabs like this, you can also share them to different people, right? So I'll just quickly show where it can be done. So when this is called tab settings or the board settings, when I open this, there are 3 settings which you'll see in detail. But if you see once you have the multiple tabs like this, what you can do is you can access this schedule board from the advanced find. Okay. So in the advanced find, you'll see schedule board settings. From that schedule board settings, you can just go and share it to the respective users, like you share any other records in the Dynamics or Power or model driven app in that case. Okay. So talking about general settings, as you can see here in the tab settings. So general settings defines the items such as views used for the board elements and placement of items of the board and colors as such. And the next one, the schedule types. This will show you the views that are used to display and filter items such as bookings, requirements for each entity, whichever is enabled for the URS. And the recommend panel, the third one would be the recommend panel. And this allows an organization to add additional recommend as such. For example, if you wanted to add more tabs here, you can just keep adding. You can see now there are 4 tabs, but you can keep adding it, and you can change this view also. So that's where this recommend panel customization comes into the picture. Okay, so these 3 are the major category of customization available in the current schedule board. Okay, so you can see some of the features that the current schedule board is offering. Okay, as of now. So the scheduling from recommend panels, scheduling from interactive maps, and scheduling assistance are very much possible. But the main thing is it allows only single booking, which means only single booking can be assigned, something like this. If you want to assign it to any resource, either you can do this from the recommend panel, or if you want to go and check for suitable resources, like which we saw a few minutes back about a semi-automated way of assigning the work orders and bookings. You can see if I go this is going to take me to this is going to use the scheduling assistant for me to find the right resources for that, right? So all this, you can see that these are all applicable for only single booking. So when I wanted to do the operation for multiple bookings at the time, the current schedule board doesn't offer anything as such. Okay, that is where we are going to extend this with our Canvas, the power of the Canvas app. Okay, and the only place where as far as I know, you can work on the multiple booking is over here. So you can move the multiple bookings from whichever booking available in that specific date. So for example, you can see here. So there are 2 bookings, right, on 24th. So if I go and move this booking, if I give my source date as 24, and if I give the target date, and I need to select what are the status, what are the bookings that maps that falls under these status needs to be moved. So once I do this and click the move, it's going to move all the bookings on that specific date to the targeted date. But in our tool, for today's example, what we're going to see is we will see how the bookings within the specific date range itself can be moved or copied to the targeted date. Okay. So you can see the, as I said earlier, move bookings on of a specific day and rebook. There is a functionality called rebook where you can rebook the bookings and substitute resources. So if let's say I've chosen, I have assigned this worker to this specific resource, I can go and find the substitute resource. If I right click on this, it's gonna pop up me with this search tool where I can just go and search any resources and I can pick and reassign. Automatically, it will be assigned to that resource. Okay. And then setting appropriate view that dispatcher wants. So which is nothing but you can see there are multiple views available. So hourly view, and days views and weeks and months, something like that. And you can also have horizontal view and the list view. So if I go to list view, you can see this, what are the for how many days, what are the work orders is been assigned to this particular resource. Okay, so let me go back to the hourly view. And then you can see multiple actions that is available in the schedule board. So if I go to this actions, you can see getting direction, driving directions, and we just saw this, how to move bookings. And I can just print the whole schedule board, and I can also do the booking alert. So booking alert is something like a task, right, for each schedulers to notify what needs to be done. Okay. And then resource filters, and then we'll see mapping. Okay, quickly I'm just showing what are the functionalities or features available in general, okay, in high level. So you can see the resource filter. If I choose the characteristics, I can just choose what are the skills or they are the resources are mapped under. So if I choose specific skills, only the resources that have that skills will be shown in the resource board. Okay. And then you have, similarly, you can choose based on the roles as well, if they have the roles. And as of now, we don't have that. I mean, we haven't filtered the resources. As of now, I just filter resources based on the territories. Okay. But you can see, all these things are very much possible. So if I go and choose user, you're going to see all the users that will be displayed here. So currently, we do not have any user as the resources, and that's why it's not showing up there. If you have resources, user as resources, it will be seen here, or it can be accounts, contacts, something like that. Okay. And of course, business unit. And finally, you can also sort this. So sort based on the name or rating value, right? So each resources has given configured the rating value. So that can be used in the sorting as well. So all these are done in the resource entity configuration. You're not going to see that now. That's totally out of scope. But this is how the basic filter applies here. And there is something called map view. This is an interactive map that you could see. So if you can see that, you see the colors here. These colors points to the resources that we see here. For example, you can see the pink. Jorge Galt has this. So it's Ryan Brim, and he will be having the pink color, and you can see that something like that. Okay, and by this you can somehow easily guess which resource is actually working there when you do some high level stuff, right? You can see the blue color for Edgar, and Edgar has a blue color, and all these pinpoints with the question mark are something which is not assigned yet. Okay, so we saw how we can assign from the requirement panel to here, and you can also assign from the map view to the board. That is also very much possible. Okay, so the map clearly provides the information on how the traffic is right now in this particular area. You can see the red color clearly shows that there's a traffic in that one, so that when the dispatcher allocates the resource, he can guide the resource appropriately. Okay, so that is something like that. And also you can search the resources over here. Okay, and and also you have certain settings to what are the things you want to hide and show in the map. That is also you can that can be done over here as well. So this is the basic filter that is currently available with respect to the currently available in the schedule board. Okay, so talking about the operations, as I said earlier, so scheduling, these are different ways that we saw where scheduling can be done, and we saw how the bookings can be moved and rebook and substituting resources as well. So now you can see I have given the energy level for the current out-of-box schedule board feature to this, and adding a little bit of Power Platform element to this one will make the energy level to increase energy level in exponentially, right? So what we have with the power of Power Platform, as you can see that with all the existing schedule board features which are we saw now, we can keep adding more features. And trust me, it's all about we are manipulating this whole thing with the data. So as far as you have the data, and as far as the data can be accessed from Power Automate, and it can be shown in Power Apps, the sky is the limit, guys. You can keep adding any functionality that suits your business. So today we're going to see very simple, quite simple functionality, two functionalities, but it can be extended multiple levels. Okay. So as I said earlier, you can see the bookings. Move booking is done within the target range. Sorry, there's a typo here. Within the target range, or you can also multi-select the bookings and work order. We are not going to use, when I say multi-select, please don't assume that we are going to select it from the UI. No, we're going to have a draw combo box kind of thing in the Canvas app, and we can multi-select it. But I don't have that demo for today, but I'm just throwing up some ideas. Okay. I'm just throwing some ideas. Sorry. Okay. Start 1, 2, 3. So move bookings can be done within the date range, or it can be done using multi-selecting in the combo box. You can have combo box kind of control on the Canvas app, and you can do it, right? I'm just throwing ideas. I don't have them to. I don't have multi-select functionality for today's demo, and also I have copy bookings in bulk. And as a add-on feature, I also made one more functionality where you can copy the work order itself. Okay, we'll see that shortly. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into the demo. All right, so may the force be with us, and let us see, and may the demo god also be with us. Let me quickly change the screen to over here. Okay, so we just saw the basic functionalities available in the schedule board, right? Now, you can see this one. You see the tiny control here called edit bookings. So doesn't it giving you feeling of when it's part of the booking schedule board itself? Well, it's actually not the schedule board. It's separate Canvas app. I just rendered into the schedule board, and I will try to match the styles that is available in the schedule board. Okay. All right. So first, what we'll do is we'll do move. Okay. So you can see we have two schedule boards, two work orders, for today. Yeah, for Monday, right? Or three. We have three here. So let's try to move this 3 on to Wednesday. Okay, that's on 26. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select from day and today, but actually I'm just selecting same day, but you can select the date range as well. It still works. So if I choose 26th, and currently I'm just showing the filters for this specific territory. I'm going to keep it as it is, and let me select move. You can see how it does typically in Canvas app. It's doing the same way because it's calling the Power Automate and it's doing some background operation there. Yeah, you see it says number of bookings affected is 3 now, right? So if you see this, the bookings are gone from today, right? It got moved to Wednesday. Okay. So that is one trick here. If you guys notice this, when I changed it, the schedule board, it immediately reflected in the schedule board. Actually, it's not immediately reflected. I'm not using any context as such to send the event back to the schedule board. What I've done is plain simple thing. I've just adjusted my refresh rate of the schedule board. Okay. So what I mean by that is, right. So where do you adjust the refresh rate of the schedule board? Is just go here in the resources, and you're going to see schedule parameters. Under the administration, just click on the resource scheduling, and this is what the value that reloads the schedule board, right? You see schedule board refresh rate. I just kept it for 5 seconds. So what is going to happen is every 5 seconds it's going to refresh. So that gives this feeling of whenever the booking has been, we use the tool here, the Canva app. It gives this feeling of it reflecting immediately, right? So that is one trick. By the way, yeah. So what we have done is we've moved this item. So what we'll do next is we'll try copying all this. Okay, let me add a new booking to Monday to make it simple. Okay, so we have one more booking for Monday, and I just use the same date, and I'm going to use the same date. And here, instead of move, I'm going to copy. Okay, so what is going to happen? You can see I'm not checking this box. Okay, I'm just using the copy. and you see work order is 00207. Okay, you can see the booking affected is 1. So if I go back, if I go to my for 26th, so this is under Edgar. You can see here, right? Refresh. Let me make sure that it's copied. Yeah. So this is the one we just moved from Edgar, and you can see it's now like 00207. Earlier we had this 3, now we had this one more, and it's mapped to the same work order. Now what we do is we'll copy the same work order, and we will copy same booking and copy the new work order. Well, before doing that, I will just give some practical scenario where these kind of things are applicable. Let's say in today's pandemic, right, we can't plan anything. It's totally uncertainty where we sometimes the plan gets affected. So let's say we have this booking scheduled for multiple resources, and the dispatcher has already planned the resource booking for a week, and let's say the business has been shut down because of the pandemic due to some emergency, and we want to move all of these things for the next week. So that's where he can just use a target and start range, from date and to date in the range, and he can choose the targeted. Automatically that whole set of bookings will be moved to the next week. Okay, and you can see how much time does it saves for the dispatcher, right? Otherwise it's very painful to do that. And also talking about copy, why would I need a copy? Okay, so let's say we have a repetitive task that my set of resources are doing, which is applying for today, which will be applied for tomorrow or next week or next month, whatever it is. So in that case, what I can do is I can just select the date range and I can select copy. Okay, so there I have just added one element of copying it to a new work order. So why is that? There can be certain scenario where you wanted to copy the bookings to the same work order, which means if there is one booking or there is one booking already, there'll be another booking created and mapped to the same work order. But there could be again a different scenario where you want to just recreate everything from the scratch. You want to copy the whole stuff, including the work order, right? So in that case, what I can do is I can just select the date range and select the copy new work order, and I just enter the copy. You can see the same booking has been copied and it is updated now to the new work order. Earlier it was updated to the same work order, and this is the previous one which we did, and now it's marked on the different work order, right? So you can think about this scenario when it sounds simple, but trust me, it's going to save lots of time for the dispatcher when we are handling a bulk copy and move scenarios, right? Okay, so this is all about the demo. So we'll quickly see what is happening behind the screen and how this is done. Okay, so if I open my Power Apps, let me see what is this first. Okay, so this is nothing but an iframe that is rendered in the web as a web that is added as web resources, and it's rendered in the settings here. So earlier I showed you there are 3 settings: general settings, schedule types, and document panels. So if you open the general settings, you can see there is a place where you can add the custom web resource. Okay, so here I have added this HTML, and I have named this the bulk edit. You can name anything, and that's all. The moment you do that, you're going to see this over here. Okay, so let me quickly open the HTML as well. So this is there is this web resource that gets rendered here as I showed in the tab. So let's quickly see what that web resource is all about. So if you see the web resource, it's just a plain simple HTML, and you just need this iframe block where we're going to put our Power Apps ID, and it's going to render just like that. You see this directly coming from the Power Apps, and that's what you're seeing here. Okay, and so let me zoom in this code so that you can see it here. So no, I just made it bigger. So you can see it's all these things the system's automatically adds, so you don't need to worry about it. The point is you add an iframe and you define the size of the iframe, and then you just create this URL with the app ID here, with the Canvas app ID, and that's all. You're good to go. The moment you do that and you save and publish this web resource, and then you go and add it here, you select the web resource in the custom web resource control, it's going to add it in the bulk edit. Okay. If you talk about multiple screens to do multiple operations, you can navigate. You can put the navigation inside the Canvas app, and it's going to allow you to do that. Okay, so let us quickly now let's take a look at the Canvas app. Okay, let's just go and we have the Canvas app. Yeah, so this is a very simple app, and as you can see, I have the data source as it's coming from CDS, and the bookings and all the date, and I am calling the flow here. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. I adjusted the colors based on the schedule board, and I mean to match with the schedule board. And let me show you what is there in the move. So it's just calling the Power Automate, and it's just passing the from date to date, and it's just adding the date range, taking the differences and adding it to the target date. Okay, and territory, and just move. It's just making whether this text box either to show whether it's a move or copy. So you're going to see similar stuff for the copy as well. So if you go for copy, you can see that it's passing the copy text instead of the move. And this checkbox one is nothing but whether we are letting you know the Power Automate whether we have checked in this creating new work order provision or not. Okay, it's just very pretty straightforward. So if I open the Power Automate, so it has some basic steps. I'm declaring the variables here, and I'm getting the list of bookings from my environment, and then right here with that booking, I'm just parsing and getting the territory as well because it's in the one level from the booking. And you can see that if it's a move or copy, I'm just checking. If it's move, I'm just moving it. Moving is nothing but changing the days that we calculated from the Power Apps. We just change it and we update it. Just update operation back to CDS. It will move. It will reflect as a move in the schedule board. And if you're talking about the copy, and now again we have one more flag whether we need to create a new work order or we are going to copy it to the same work order. So if you're talking about copying to the same work order, it's nothing but creating a new record in CDS. So we just get all the information from the current record and we just put it in the new record so that it reflects as a copy. So if you talk about if you want to create a new work order as well and then map this booking to that work order, you can first get the information of the work order that is there, and then you just if it's not created in this loop, I'm gonna just create it here, create new work order, and just again create a new booking, which is nothing but copy booking. Okay, and then map this to this work order, the recently created work order. So this is all about the flow, and this when you combine the Power App, Canvas app, and the flow, and with a little bit of web resource customization for the board, you get this wonderful tool for you to manage. Okay. All right. So this is all about the demo. Let me go back to my slides. I have something to share. All right. So the force was strong with us this time. All right. So with Power Platform, I would say this whole Power Platform suits comes as an Avengers, right? So right now we just saw how we are leveraging the Power Apps and Power Automate. But when you talk about using Power BI, I can just simply throw another scenario where you can have different analytics done in the Power BI and the wonderful reports, and then you can embed, boom, there you go. You can embed the Power BI reports right into the Canvas app, and that itself can be used as an analytical tool for the scheduler. So I know you can say that Power BI can be rendered as a separate dashboard as well, but here we're talking about better user experience. So where if I embed the Power BI in the Canvas app and I'm just showing it in the details pane, he don't need to move much. He can just access the same control there, the right side, and you can see what are the informations he could. For example, right, if you want to see the past trend, how the resources, what kind of resources are assigned to what kind of task, he could be able to get that from the reports. Or if you want to see the list of suitable resources for this work, he can do that. And also if you want to take a look at the competitors, how they are doing it, all this information with the data, and you can do anything, right? It's pretty straightforward. So this is one of this you can just imagine the combination of all the features of the Power Platform. You can mix and match, and you can just use it in the iframe like this. Okay. And yeah, so that's all about the demo. And finally, I've got I want to share quickly about the next generation schedule board that the Microsoft has released recently. So the next generation schedule board provides better usability and accessibility, and it's a PCF control. It's built using Power Apps Component Framework for the UCI, Unified Client Interface. And currently, it's very limited. It has very limited set of operations. And well, I can quickly show you that. So you can see it's only available in English, and it's available currently only in the URS. And when to use the new one? For very simple drag and drop, and to see the users, you just use a new one. But if you want to do all the other operations, just stick to the current one. once the new one it's improvised and it's released, and you're gonna see lots of amazing features in that. So I still haven't got any update how we can use external web resources for that, but yeah, we'll see that later. We'll wait and see. So quickly, if I want to show you the new schedule board, I can do that as well. So the only thing you have to do is you have to go to the URS and you got to go to the schedule board, and here I think I have not enabled this one. But yeah, you should see something called scheduling, enable new schedule board. So from there you should be able to see it in the view. I have it in a different environment, but this demo environment I do not have it, by the way. Okay. Yeah, so we'll need to, once the ready, start 1, 2, 3. So once this PCF based schedule board is released, then we'll know how we can improve or extend it later. But as of now, we do not have much information of that. So yeah, so that's all about the demo, and yeah, I'm done. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. All right, so thanks, guys. Thank you, DynamicsCon, again for this wonderful opportunity. I knew it is not. You guys have organized it really well, and the whole website itself. I really love the idea of the superhero concept, and then the voting as well. It's totally new for me. I know to where you have just made it. Anyone can vote it, and anyone can nominate themselves and speak. I really appreciate that. Thank you again for all the committee members who really working hard behind it, and all the guest speakers and panels, and also keynote speakers, and mainly all the viewers who are viewing this session. Thank you. Thanks again. And also join me in the conference chat where you can ask me any questions and I'll be able to answer it. Thank you.